Hi everyone. So I wanted to make a video about meditation, various kinds of meditation, and also something that I developed. So there are numerous traditions of meditation, of course. I believe even in Christianity they have some kind of exercises for mystical connection with uh, the Holy Spirit or whatever, which I don't really know much about. I think my father studied it. But of course, what I'm most familiar with is meditation in the Hindu Advait tradition, which usually involves either focusing on the breath, going in and out, or on a mantra, which is usually a Sanskrit phrase, although a mantra can be as long as a verse. But if you're doing meditation, you would only really use like one of the verse mantras if you were doing a really big ritual, like an inauguration, or you wanted to kind of build a lot of positive energy, which usually happens when people think that a place is haunted, or if something bad happened and there's like a pall over a community, they might call the pundit and then do like a big group ritual with chanting. But in the case of dhyan or meditation, you would just use one of the phrase mantras, and then the one that I use, Amaram Ham, Madhuram Ham, it lends itself to do Amaram Ham on the in breath, Madhuram Ham on the out breath. So they kind of bookend each other nicely. Um, but there are many other traditions of meditation, of course. There's Buddhist meditation, Theravada, Vajrayana, and Mahayana, and they're all different. And then they also have meditation in Tao, and then also Druidry, Wicca. They have their own techniques of meditation. And of course, the Bon religion, which is the pre-Buddhist Tibetan religion, which I would say the Bon religion has the most grueling technique of meditation, because I have a book on it and I tried to do it. And like the first step is already kind of intense. Like you're supposed to stare at the Akrid letter without blinking until you're kind of, but like, not like this, but with your eyes kind of relaxed. But you try not to blink for as long as you can, and then your eyes are just kind of streaming. Anyway, yeah. And then the next one is you have to imagine, you have to visualize a yantra in detail. And it's interesting, people have different kinds of visual abilities in their mind's eye. And some people, like, if they picture a tiger in their mind, by the time the tiger has manifested in their mind's eye, it's already morphing into like a dachshund. And then the dachshund is turning into a snake, and then the snake is slithering away, and then there's all these like rippling kind of minnows or something, like, and then, it's going abstract. And so it morphs quite quickly. But so, maybe for those people, that kind of visualization is not so easy to start with. And yeah, I have the air on, so it seems like I've lit a candle in the wind. Elton John. But it's actually just manufactured kind of mysticism. Anyway, um, so there's various kinds of meditation. In Wicca, you focus on an element, which is not just like the four elements, but you might focus on something like smoke or steam as well, and then you kind of bring it out. But all of these kinds of meditations involve a certain level of focus. And one could argue that Tao meditation doesn't, because it's about getting unfocused, but it's kind of like you're focusing to get unfocused in a way. You're just allowing, allowing, allowing. Anyway, tonight I was experimenting with something quite different, although a little bit maybe inspired by Wicca meditation, which was focusing on the five senses. So in the Vedic tradition, each sense correlates to an element. And so I was just running through them, like with each breath I would run through. I would do earth, and then I would tune into the sense of smell and see what I could smell, and then water, sense of taste. Even when, you're not eating, there's a certain kind of like, you can tune into the sense of taste in your mouth and taste something. And then fire. So with fire, you might wonder what you can see with your eyes closed. But first of all, you can use your mind's eye. But also, I mean, when your eyes are closed, you can see like an expanse of specks. So first you see those, and then you might see something. And if you can, the first image that pops into your mind, like freeze it for a breath. But if you can't freeze it, then just sort of see it. Maybe it's morphing, like if you have one of those brains that morphs a lot. Maybe it's morphing, but watch the morphing in kind of as much detail as you can. Air is touch, so you feel all the sensations in your body for a couple of breaths. Like, you could do it for one breath as you're rotating through these, or you could do it for a couple of breaths if you want to go a little deeper with each sense. And you say the name of the element when you do it, like earth, air, water, fire, ether. Or if you want to do like space, akash, or spirit. I think in Wicca they call it spirit, the fifth element. Anyway, that's sound. So then you listen. And I mean, I had some kind of trippy music playing, but there's also karaoke going on next door. So it was interesting because there was like this mystical music, and then I would hear someone singing karaoke, but it was almost like this ghostly voice, like weaving in and out in between the mystical music. And it was quite trippy, actually. Anyway, and so I was having trouble meditating tonight, and then I sort of developed this, and immediately it was quite effective. Like, it was getting me into sort of a trance. Anyway, so I wanted to express it all to you all, and hopefully the next video I will do a video about a kind of second part to the Himalayan, childhood memories, which, there's certainly a few more, and probably more than I think there are. Anyway, lots of love to you all. Bye for now.